nation goddess NNG. Find just what you see. 8 frequencies of elevation. Reach your highest frequency. She serving healing and education. Uplifting and motivating. NNG. New nation goddess. Hey yo, check this. You are now tuned in to the Transcend with NNG podcast with your host, Brittany Walker. New episodes on Wealth and Wellness Wednesdays.
Hey, season 3, we coming in with a banger. Shout out to J Jig Cicero for that amazing intro. Again, guys, season 3, Wednesday, May 3rd. Happy Wealth and Wellness Wednesdays. Welcome to Transcend with NNG podcast. Again, I am your host, Brittany Walker, also known as New Nation Goddess. So we're going to get right into it. We're not going to waste any time. You know how we get down if you've been listening to the other seasons. Now, season 1, it was a solo season. Season 2, we came through with some interviews. Season 3, I want to take it back to a solo season because we're going to get more grounded and more rooted in transcending ourselves. And then I'm going to bring back some guests for the next season so we can go ahead and add on to this good old seeds that we're going to be planting this season so that they can harvest and be ready to grow and evolve for us to be able to go to our highest frequency. So again, guys, Wealth and Wellness Wednesdays. Today, our episode is evolving into an even better you. So you know how we like to kick it off. We always start off with an I am series, which is our I am power statements. I representing inspiration, A representing affirmation, and M representing manifestation. So for today, I am evolving in my own time and at my own pace. I am open to receiving knowledge from various factors and be intentional about what aligns with me most. Ashe. Now, you know we normally like to throw out a book reference. This season, we're going to be doing books, podcasts, case studies. We're going to be giving you a different round. But I actually wanted to highlight Hood Feminism. New information. I am the book host for Amplify Black Lit, which is a book club in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's at the only Black-owned bookstore called the Analog Dope Store. And for March, we actually reviewed Hood Feminism by Mikki, Kendall. It's notes from the woman that a movement forgot. This gave so much power. This gave so much tea. You know, chai, servant of the chai, honey. This was some really great information. And it gave a broader perspective of how common feminism is still powered by white supremacy and how we as women of color can combat that and become our greatest feminists. So that is going to be the book reference that I'm giving for today. You don't have to be a woman to read it. I feel like anybody can really learn from it. But yes, definitely just was dropping gems and helping me personally evolve. It is now 2023. When we wrapped up our season, we were coming to the first couple of months of 2023. So we had not even got to the end of quarter 1. And now we're in the middle of quarter 2, getting ready to go into quarter 3. So guys, that's literally the rest of May and the rest of June. That's 6 months that we've already gone through in the year of 2023. Time is flying. And how are you evolving? Are you still doing the same shit that you were doing last year? Were you still doing the same things you were doing a couple years before then? Are you still hanging out with the same people that are not evolving and growing? Are they still doing the same stagnant ass activities that's keeping you not in the space to really think outside the box, to really shift your mind, and to really evolve? Okay, we always talk about the tea that we're sipping on, so apologize, I had to go ahead and take a sip. For those of you who are watching on Spotify, YouTube, you can see the video. I have a new tea diffuser and tea, but I am sipping on Cramp Elixir, which is a tea made by my new organization, Kick Cramps Ass. It has all the benefits that your body needs in order to keep a healthy wound. So we have hibiscus, red raspberry leaf, motherworth, mugwort, nettles, ashwagandha. We have vervain, chash tree, cinnamon, ginger, and turmeric. You know, those are my three besties. I'm always going to have those in the mix. So it's some really good things going on in this tea that's going to be really, really beneficial for womb wellness and keeping that womb together, honey, and keeping the PMS symptoms together as well. So let's go ahead and get into today's episode. So, you know, we power off Transcend with NNG based off of the 8 frequencies of elevation program. The 8 frequencies of elevation allows you to grasp on different factors in your life that you need to be mindful of and that are going to be essential for you to enhance in order for you to transcend to your highest self, for you to become your best potential. So our first elevation is defining your purpose, knowing what your purpose is. If you don't know what that is, you need to start honing in on what your passions are, the things that you really love, the ways that you can help people, the ways that you can contribute to sustainable development goals. Go Google that if you don't know what it is. I've talked about it in past seasons. So just knowing how can you really come into your own, and then determining what you were meant to do in this lifetime. What is it that you're supposed to be doing? What are you supposed to be using your skills and talents for? So knowing your human design, knowing what your genius is, knowing what your top skills are. I will drop assessment links. I've done it in the first couple of seasons. I'm going to do it for this season as well. If you need to take these free assessments to help you determine these things, this is going to be beneficial for you. Metaphysical methods. Meditation, important. Sending gratitude every single day, important. Affirming to yourself, being intentional with your words, like how our I am power statements, important. As you can see, I'm crystalled up. Crystals have different healing agents. They mean different things. So part of metaphysical methods, journaling, doing yoga, energy cleansing, realigning your chakras. All of this is very important. Even participating in rituals and regimens that are beneficial for you, i.e., full moon rituals, new moon rituals, cleansing rituals, spring cleaning in your house, setting goals, updating vision boards. All of these things are very beneficial in helping you achieve your purpose. Why? Because once you think about it, you got to write it out. Once you write it out, you have to profess it and say it. And as you continue to do those over and over again on a daily, even weekly or monthly basis, that's when your manifestation starts to come into play, when you put them out into the universe and actually put action with them to bring them into fruition. We talk about our 3rd frequency of elevation, which is optimal wellness. Not only your physical wellness, your mental, your emotional, your spiritual. Though all 4 of those state of beings are very crucial in you achieving optimal wellness. So keeping your chemicals balanced in your brain, that can come through with the products that you're using, the foods that you're putting into your body, the beverages that you're choosing to drink, the medications you're choosing to put in and on your body. All right, guys? So be mindful of these things. These things contribute to those factors. Allowing people in your space, negative energies, energy leeches, people who are not ready to transcend themselves, but they're just holding on to you because you are providing something to them, but they're no longer feeding back into you. They're not substantial, they're invaluable, and you got to know when to let those things go. Your physical state is important as well. Minimum of 30 minutes of exercise, at least 5 days a week. Even if you can't do a full 30 minutes in one sitting, go on a 10-minute walk in the morning, midway through the day or during your lunch break, do another 10-minute walk, and maybe in the evening time, before dinner or after dinner, maybe you do some sit-ups, maybe you do some yoga, maybe you go on a walk again, maybe you just go up and down the stairs. You need to have some type of consistent movement with your body at a minimum of 30 minutes daily. That's not going to help with your mobility, but it will help with the digestion and absorption of the proper foods and nutrients that you're putting into your body, and it is going to help with life longevity. 4th frequency of elevation is the environmental awareness, being aware of your environment, the type of water that you're drinking and using and what you're putting on your body, the type of foods and where you're buying them from, the reputable resources, what you're putting in and on your body, your deodorant, your toilet paper, your moisturizers, your skin products, your shampoo. All of these things contribute to your health and your wellness, and also with the way that you think, because your skin is the biggest cell on your body. That means whatever your skin is absorbing is going straight to your main organs and arteries, so your brain, your liver, your kidney, the things that our bodies need to function properly, and chemicals are killing those things. Certain foods are killing those things. Certain medications, maybe not certain, majority of all medications are contributing to these things. So we have to figure out what works for us and where we can get our best products from in order for us to be able to sustain. Knowledge acquisition, fifth frequency of elevation. It is extremely important for you to acquire knowledge, but valuable knowledge, reputable, legitimate. You just can't take knowledge just because it's on the internet, just because a celebrity tells you that it's the thing to do, does not mean that it's correct and it's the right thing to do. You need to do your own research. You have your own brain, you have your own eyes, you have your own power. It is now time to take that back and not just believe everything that society is telling you. Just because it's on the news, just because it's on a commercial, does not mean that it is the best thing for you. It is up to us to read our books. It is up to us to read reputable case studies. It is up to us to read the labels on the back of our food and back of every item that we're using, because they are telling us what they're putting in these products. But for some reason, even with the United States having over 50 banned foods that are banned in other countries, we still are consuming those things, knowing that they lead to cancer, diabetes, heart disease, dementia, Alzheimer's, the things that are killing us off and now are becoming normal. Like, oh, everybody gets cancer. No, everybody doesn't get cancer. It's because everybody's consuming the products that have and lead to cancer. Next frequency of elevation, the sixth, is financial competency. Getting your financial literacy up. Learning how to become a minimalist. Learning how to get rid of things that don't need to be purchased. You need to limit your Amazon purchase. You need to limit your delivery purchases. You need to limit how much you're going out to eat. You need to limit on the unnecessary subscriptions to all these different things that it's $5.99 here, $9.99 here, but at the end of the month when you have 15 of those and you see that you're spending a few $100s on subscriptions, things like that. We need to be more mindful to save more and then use that money to invest in our purposes, our futures, and our foundations. We want to build legacies. We want to build empires, dynasties, kingdoms. Whatever level you at, you want to be a queen, cool. You want to be an empress, cool. I'm trying to be at a god and goddess level. So there's different steps that you need to take. You don't need to continue to keep up with the Joneses. You don't need to do what social media is telling you what's hot. You don't need to do what a celebrity is telling you what's good. It's just like Christmas. All year long, or even a couple months leading up to Christmas when you were a child, you wanted a specific gift. You get that gift Christmas Day. Guarantee you by January 1st, not even a whole week later, that gift does not have as much power as it once did. It doesn't have the same clout or the same energy that you were feeling for when you did not have it. So we got to be mindful to stop wasting our money on things that are invaluable and putting that money towards things that are very important, i.e. our future and our wealth. Seventh frequency of elevation is social synergy. How we network with people, how we build community, how you vibe with other people, have strategic partnerships, being just friendly to people, being nice to people for no reason, holding the door, speaking to people when you walk by them. Things like that make a difference in your life when you're elevating. And last but not least, the final frequency of elevation, which is the eighth frequency, is the authentic elevation, which is like the elevation activation stage. You have acquired all these other frequencies. Now you can definitely transcend to your next. Now, during this level, you're going to go through obstacles. You're going to go through tests. There are going to be things that are going to come and try to hinder you on your path. There are going to be things that try to force you to have fear. Again, fear is something that you have control of. It's something that you make up in your head. So you have the power to not have fear. So with that being said, authentic activation, you're going to go through a lot of trials and tribulations, but nothing comes easy. There's no such thing as overnight success. There's no such thing as you're going to start a business today. You're going to be a millionaire tomorrow. It takes time, hard work, and patience. And we can do it. It is possible, people. Trust me. So let's go further. Grow since 2023. Since we last spoke, again, we have closed out quarter one. We're in the midst of quarter two. Take time to reevaluate yourself. We have had full 4 months. January, February, March, April. We are now into May. 4 full months. How are you holding up? That means, guys, 4 months are already gone. Like a quarter of the year is gone. How are you holding up? How are your goals going? Are you checking on your goals on a monthly basis? Are you doing a mid-month check-in? For example, we have goals that we make out for the month, the quarter, the year, everything. But we check on our goals on the 13th of each month. Most people could do the halfway point. I chose 13 because I like the number 13. It is one of my power numbers. So on the 13th of each month, I am checking my goals to see where am I at. And this is not just my business goals. This is my personal goals. These are goals that I also have together with my partner. Like, you have to go through all the goals on all the levels of your life to see where you at. Are you proactively progressing? Are we making some type of leeway? You don't want to have a goal that you set on your vision board on January 1st, oh, New Year's resolution, new me, da 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 da. And then now we're May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd, June 1st, June 2nd, June 3rd, July 1st, July 2nd, July 3rd, and you still have not made any leeway on that goal. Not an outline, not an idea of what you want to do with it, not anybody like, hey, what businesses can I connect with? Who can I work with to bring this to fruition? Do I need some mentoring? Do I need some assistance? Do I need to delegate? You haven't mapped out anything, so you want to ensure that you're taking time to see what is your real growth since 2023. Have you been proactively working on those goals that you set back on January 1st or a little bit before January 1st for your new year, new me? And yes, I did throw up quotation mark fingers. So if you're on Spotify and YouTube, I'm going in. I'm letting you know, no more time for bullshit. No more time for anything, because a lot of people are screaming they need accountability partners. They need somebody to hold them accountable. No, you need to hold yourself accountable. You have the power to make this shit happen. Get it together and make it happen. So go back and look at your goals. See where you're at. If you haven't made any progression on some goals, figure out the next week or two, how can you bring that to life? Well, how are we going to bring this to life before 2023 ends? And not saying that you have to get to every single goal on your list, but you want to get through the majority of that list since you had it set for yourself for a reason. Now you can readjust as needed. You can remove goals as needed. That's perfectly fine. But we do need to have some type of progression, even if it's slow each month here and there on certain things. Do what's needed for you, but you need to actively work towards it. So reevaluate yourself. Go on your phone and check that screen time. Is that screen time telling you you're spending a lot of time scrolling on social media? Is it showing that you're looking at a lot of YouTube videos that are not beneficial to your growth? Is it showing that you're doing a lot of texting or a lot of gaming on your phone? If that's the case, you need to do some readjusting and then get back focused, get back disciplined, and do your time management skills. Perfect it. Let me not say perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. Enhance it. Work towards it. Make it better than what it was the week before, the month before. Any type of growth is good, guys. It doesn't have to be a substantial growth. I'm not saying, hey, you started a goal on January, by April 30th, it should have been done, set, perfected. Everything's great. Let's go. No. All we're saying is that you have to actively work towards it in order to bring it to life. All right. Now, planting your seeds in your power months and basking in your harvest. If you don't know what your power months are, I mentioned the human design test, the genius test. I'm going to put those links in the description of the bio. You can go and take these exams and they'll let you know what your power months are, what your power chakras are. Where's the best time that it's for you to be in your creative zone, when you're brainstorming, you're designing, you're developing, but then what's your actual best month that you can execute on? For instance, I am a dynamo genius and I am a human design generator. Human designs, my sacral chakra is my power chakra. So my intuition, what my root instinct is telling me, that is my power chakra. But for a dynamo genius, spring is our power months. That means that everything that we sowed last summer, last fall, last winter, bam, spring, we're blooming. It's harvesting. Execution time. Let go. And just to give examples, from the time that I started this podcast, which was the summer of 2022, and now we're present day, it is now Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023. A lot has changed since then. I have let go completely let go of a business that I had booming to focus on other entities. I moved across the country, literally got in a heavy committed relationship, um, started a new business, Kick Cramps Ass. I converted my book into an actual business. I have joined a CEO support group with other Black women that are out here doing the thing so we can work and network together. I have been appointed to the executive board of directors for the Sober Black Girls Club because I've talked about it to you guys several times before. I am a former drug addict and alcoholic. Been sober for 3 years from alcohol. I took my last drink on June 27, 2020, so 3 years this summer. So I am now sitting on that board. I started a book club. I mentioned at the beginning of this group, in partnership with the Analog Dope Store, the only Black owned bookstore in Las Vegas, hosting their book clubs at the last Saturday of each month. I am now a wellness blogger for Spoken Black Girl, which is an online publication organization helping combat mental health and issues in the melanin community. So guys, growth, making, shaking hands with different strategic partners, then got in other organizations as far as having a veteran status, guys, connecting to other podcasts, discovering other podcasts that have been beneficial in my growth and my journey. My mentors throw me information. I've connected with somebody that I did a workshop last year, but now we're turning, our first workshop has converted into another workshop that we just had this past Saturday, combating health equity in the Black community, talk about a medical apartheid and how Black experimentation been going on in the medical field since plantation days, and now converting that into an actual program. I mean, real growth, guys. Seeds being sown, other books in the works, other production opportunities in the works. Physical ability has gotten better. Went from working out just Monday, like started the podcast last summer, working out Monday through Friday, 30 minutes. Now working out Monday through Saturday, 60 to 75 minutes. Like, just exponential growth. Why? Because once you plant the seeds and once you know what it is that you want to do, you eliminate the bullshit and the invaluable things in your life that's taking up space and time, and you allow the opportunity of new space, of new opportunities, of aligning with people that are really going to help you elevate to your next frequency. All right, guys, it is possible. It's being done as we speak. I'm giving you my journey as we go. Why? Because it is possible. You can let go of everything. Guys, I walked away from living in a city that I've known for over 3 decades. I moved across the country, started completely fresh, didn't know nobody out here. Like, things can get done, but you have to believe in yourself and you got to make the proper moves and stop being afraid and stop allowing people that are not in your shoes or going on the path that you're going to try to tell you what you should be doing with your life. Let that sit in. So after you've manifested your desires, you want to live in the moment and focus on what you have control of. Focus on what you have control of. There's a lot of things that people get upset about, or they want to have anxiety and stress over things that they do not have control over. Let that go. You do not have to have control over everything. And focus on the things that you do have control over. That's all that's important right now. That's all that matters. Focus on you. Focus on how you're going to be helping other people. Focus on how you're giving back to people. Focus on being more receptive to allowing people to give to you and not expecting nothing in return. Focus on your health. Focus on your brain power. Focus on your money, getting your wealth up, giving your, what I say real wealth is time and opportunity. Work towards that. Don't work towards having the newest Birkin bag, the baddest, the next Louis Vuitton red bottom, the next Gucci drop, the next J that's coming out, the new cocktail that everybody's buying for $25, the newest car that you really can't afford. Like, don't focus on those things, because you can get all of that once you get your mind right and you build your real wealth. And then at that point, you are not even going to care about those things, because that's a rich mentality. We talked about that before, having a rich mentality and having a wealth mentality. There is a real difference. And when you have that wealth mentality, your growth, when you told God, the Most High, the ancestors, the universe, whoever that you pray to, whoever that you manifest to, whoever that you believe in, that this is what you want, and they gave you the skills and the gifts already, and then they give you the opportunities, it's time for you to take them and run with them. Not when they come in your face and you get scared and you hide from it. You asked for it, you manifested it. So now it's time to live in that moment. Live in your power. Give yourself grace because one, you're not supposed to overwork yourself. Two, you need to be giving yourself rest on a daily basis, a minimum of 7 to 8 hours. If you can get a good 9 to 10 in, you in that thing. But give yourself grace and plan your days out thoroughly, including your free time and your domestication, so that you can really tap into what is meant for you. Now, prepare yourself for all that you manifested for because it may become overwhelming or even traumatic in a sense. I was listening to The Table with Anthony O'Neill. Shout out to him. And he had a guest on his episode where she was talking about how it was traumatic when all her blessings started coming to her. And I felt that because it's not so traumatic in a bad way. Like, oh my God, I'm so sad. Like you lost like somebody, you know, it's traumatic as in like, oh shit. Like, oh my God, this is happening so fast. And then you're like, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do this. You can kind of put yourself in a rabbit hole and you can kind of start spinning out of control and become overwhelmed. You're going to start looking like the Tasmanian devil. You just spinning and tearing shit up around you and kind of all over the place. So it can be traumatic to an extent, but you still have control over that. When that initial emotion hit, you're human. So you're like, oh, like this is really going on. But once you kind of come back to earth, take some time, same day, and just come back to what's going on. Don't get overwhelmed. You asked for this and it's being given to you for a reason. You got to remember that you already have the power and the gifts to make this happen. So you're going to have tests and you're going to be knocked off your pedestal. And if you knock off your pedestal, you get back up and you readjust that crown. If you're on some goddess status, whatever it is that gives you that glow over your crown chakra, you get that readjusted and you keep it moving. All right. You align yourself with missions, values, and energies that will catapult you further into your purpose versus hindering your transcendence. Again, align yourself with like-minded individuals. Even if you do decide to join a board of directors, make sure that it's with an organization that aligns with your frequency and the missions that you're working towards. If you are at an LLC level, eventually one day we talked about hierarchies and structures. You might want a private foundation that trickles down into a trust, and then trickles down into a holding company, that then trickles down into everything that you own business-wise, LLC, S Corp, regular corporation, however you want to go. However, you want to make sure that if you're at that private foundation level, that you're aligning yourself with those organizations that you're going to want to work with in the future that you believe in. I.e., let me give you my example. I'm all about my new business, Kick Cramps Ass, menstrual equity, period poverty, womb wellness. So anything that has to do with one of those, I'm aligning with you. And I'm seeing how you operate to see, are we going to be able to work together in the future? Is my organization and my private foundation going to be able to donate to yours and then help you to further see out this mission that is so near and dear to my heart? Do I want to sit on your board so I can better enhance your business with my skills and knowledge that I have? So menstrual equity, anything along that level, sustainable food. So farming, great farming, having reputable supplies, making sure we're getting reputable foods in food deserts and areas where people are not privy to having great resources of foods that contain all the chemicals and toxins that are hindering our culture. All right. Alcohol awareness. I just mentioned about sitting on the board for Sober Black Girl Club. You get my drift? So you see, aligning with those type of organizations that is really trying to help the world, that are contributing to sustainable development, that's creating resolutions for problems that are prevalent in our industry. You have to be careful, okay, guys? All right. You also want to ask yourself, does your current business ideas provide you with wealth and freedom to grow beyond? what society tries to keep you enslaved in. I'm about to take a sip and let that sit in. Hold on. Well, let me get my little diffuser in. I'm gonna say that again. Ask yourself, does your current business ideas provide you with wealth and freedom to grow beyond what society tries to keep you enslaved in? So, in other words, are you doing the get rich quick hustles, these pyramid schemes? Like, I'm going to just do this hustle to make this money real quick, blah, blah, blah. But is that hustle helping people, or is it taking money from them? Is it giving them knowledge that they need so they could be financially literate or they can grow in their purpose? Or is it something that's going to take away from them and keep them in poverty, but then make you rich? Is it a mission that you're working with other companies that actually uplift people of color, that uplift women, that uplift the LGBTQ plus community, that uplift veterans and people with disabilities, the underrepresented? Or are they all about capitalism and white supremacy and you're just adding to that because you're being I always forget, there's so many different names for those different people, but the person that watched over the enslaved field people and come back and tell Massa what they was doing. Are you one of them? Uncle Tom? I'm being real. Things to think about. Things to really think about. Are you building LLCs and corporations that could be owned by holding companies, trust, or even a private foundation? I mentioned that. I'm going to show you a structure as we go on throughout this season of how you can set up your companies. Even if you have no idea, this is the time to start Googling, looking things up. I've mentioned my mentor before, the Black Equity Network, DJ Moultrie, the Acquisitions Network. Hop on those podcasts. Go look them up on Instagram. They are going to give you the tools and resources that you need to get to where you're going. If you really, really want to build wealth. I mentioned Anthony O'Neill earlier. Go look him up. Look into other people that are really trying to help you build wealth. But then also pay attention to, are they trying to sell you along the way? Because if they're trying to sell you along the way, you got to be mindful of that as well. Guys, it's all about us shifting our mind and knowing what it really is. If you only have an LLC now, or you don't even have an LLC yet, think about what that is that you want, because you can have as many LLCs as you want. Then when you're ready to open the holding company, you could transfer the ownership from the LLCs to the holding company. Then once you're ready to open up your trust and know who your trustee is going to be, then you transfer ownership of the holding company to the trust. Now the trust owns the holding company, which now owns all the businesses that you started, which are the LLCs, the S Corps, or the C Corps. But then once you have that private foundation, you could transfer the trust or the holding company into ownership of the private foundation. So they own all of those entities. In addition, is donating to businesses of the missions that you align with, the energies and the values that you align with. And we all know private foundations make the most money because why? They get that money back when it's time to file the taxes. Why? Because it's donations. It's free money that they were giving to other organizations so they could sustain. So they have their scholarship funds and their different organizations that they feed back into. That's how Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, besties, mentors, taught each other the game. Warren Buffett taught Bill Gates, go open your private foundation. I'll donate to it. I'll invest in it. I'm going to get that money back with my taxes because you're a private nonprofit foundation or a trust. And then you use that money to do the same thing. And then we fuel back money into each other's businesses while we're still helping the missions and values that we want. Now, I'm not saying that their missions and values are what I want. I'm just giving y'all what two besties did and how a mentor did to his mentee, and then they turned it to best friends and how they hustled the game. And it's not illegal what they're doing. It's totally legal. But we also have to learn how to do the same things. But you have to figure out what your mission and values are and who you trying to align with. And are y'all all contributing to sustainable development that's truly helping people, and then that's going to have life longevity with your business? That's what we're trying to get to. Are y'all trying to get there? Let's go. So remember that anything is possible as long as you shift your mindset and believe in yourself wholeheartedly. Again, fear is something you make of yourself. Even if people are telling you you can't do it, you got to remember, when you're on the up and up, and when you start elevating and transcending yourself and really shifting your mind, the things that are going to have an effect or taint you from what you're trying to do are typically the things that you love most. So probably your family, parents, siblings, people that you look up to, maybe your significant other, so like your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your fiance, spouse, could be your best friend, could be a co-worker that you look up to, could be even your church home, your pastor, or your spiritual family. It could be the people that you look up to and that you're the closest to that could be used as pawns to throw you off your path. You have to be mindful of that, because why? Everybody's not meant to go with you on your journey. No matter how hard you try and how bad you want to, this is your journey in this lifetime. You have to be prepared and believe in yourself that you already have the gifts and skills. And if you keep honing in on those gifts and skills and enhancing them, you can achieve anything. It just takes time and patience. But map it out, write it out, profess it, be intentional with your words. And it's going to happen, guys. Believe me. I want to give a recap of what we talked about today, evolving into an even better you. It is possible. Kicking off season 3 of Transcend with NNG, guys. We're coming in hot this season, and we are ready to keep helping you transcend to your highest frequency. I want to give a shout out to my shirt: amethyst, black tourmaline, clear quartz, citrine, rose quartz. Shout out to Queendom Cultivation. You can definitely check their information out at the link in our bio on Instagram at New Nation Goddess, or at our new business at Kick Cramps Ass. We will be having a workshop there on Sunday, May 28th, for Menstrual Hygiene Day in honor of Menstruation Month and Period Poverty Week, and Menstrual Hygiene Day for Kick Cramps Ass. We will be hosting our first workshop as we dismantle our book, NNG's Formula to Kick Cramps Ass. So it's going to be a workshop enhancing menstrual equity, combating period poverty, and improving womb wellness, guys. We're going to have giveaways, food, samples, and a really great interactive workshop, vibing with great people. So shout out to Queen of Cultivation if you use the link at the Kick Cramps Ass link in the bio on Instagram. Again, guys, it will give you a special discount code that you can use with them. They're open Tuesday through Sunday here in Las Vegas, Nevada, but on Mondays they are closed. But online they do a huge Monday sale every Monday online. So definitely get that discount code through us so you can get your metaphysical stuff. So throughout the season, I'm going to be talking about metaphysical methods, and they are going to be my highlight and my go-to. Crystals and everything, get from them: incense, bath soak, chakra alignment, herbs, so many great things. Books, whatever you into, guys, they have it. So shout out again to Queen of Cultivation. We wanted to, if you have any questions or concerns, we're still doing listener mail, so feel free to comment to this episode. You can always hit us up at info@nngconsulting.org. That's N as in new, N as in nation, G as in goddess, consulting.org. And be sure to like this episode, subscribe to us. You can subscribe to our episode so you can keep up with our notifications. You subscribe to us on YouTube and find other beneficial information that will be helpful throughout your journey. Again, we want to give a big shout out to J Jig Cicero for that banging intro coming in for season 3. Y'all be hearing it all season long. And we just also want to send gratitude to you all for tuning in, listening on this great Wealth and Wellness Wednesday, getting all this applicable knowledge that's going to help you elevate to your best self, guys. We want to manifest a positive, peaceful, and productive remainder of the day and journey in this lifetime. We'll be talking to you next Wednesday on the Good Wealth and Wellness Wednesday. But until then, guys, talk to you soon. Peace. Yeah.